Ahmad and Bumo and Mazraoui are going to be out for potentially even longer than we first thought. Andre Onana wants back. This maybe isn't the best day for news. Maybe isn't the news that Ruben Amorim wants to be hearing. But Ruben Amorim was asked if he did actually change his tactics because we are unbeaten in the last 5 games compared to the first few games of the season. And despite some fans claiming that Ruben Amorim has not changed his tactics at all and that we're just winning because the players are executing it better, Ruben Amorim has said that he has changed his tactics. But some fans are adamant that people were lying about Amorim changing his tactics because we were winning games, which is weird. I think it's a compliment to say Amorim changed his tactics because it shows he can adapt. So Amorim speaks about the tactical changes. Man United want to make 3 midfield signings. Elliot Anderson could be 60 million. What a bargain that is. And Amorim gives an interesting update on Lisandro Martinez. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show where we're going to be rounding up all the latest Manchester United news into 10 minutes for you guys. Let's dive into it. This is not the news you want to be hearing. Amorim says Man United could lose Mbeumo, Ahmed and Mazraoui 2 weeks before AFCON starts, which is December 21st, but United are negotiating to keep them longer. Guys, we could potentially lose this. Ahmad and Mbeumo is the right-hand side. One of them out is bad. Both of them out is awful. Just to let you know, 2 weeks before the 21st is the 7th, meaning they would miss the Wolves game, they'd miss the Bournemouth game, they'd miss the Villa game, they'd miss the Newcastle game, they'd miss the other Wolves game, they'd miss the Leeds game, they'd miss the Burnley game, they'd miss the Man City game, and they would miss the Arsenal game. So that's one. Well, they might be back for the Arsenal game, actually. Depends. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially 9 matches out. Probably 8. Mazraoui we can survive without because Ahmad could play wing back and we have good centre backs. But then Ahmad's out, so actually no, we can't survive without Mazraoui. That means Delo goes right wing back, Dorgu's left wing back. There are basically only wing backs unless we try Luke Shaw at left wing back, which Luke Shaw said himself he wants to go back there. I'm so worried about Ahmad and Mbeumo. I know we've got Shea Lacey, I know we've got the academy, but it's Ahmad and Mbeumo I worry about. Mbeumo is carrying us with the goals. Maybe we play Bruno right 10, Mainu and Casemiro pivot, but then Delo right wing back. The just dynamic is not as good. I'd rather Mazraoui right wing back than Delo. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Maybe Shea Lacey's coming in. Mantato. That's not good, guys. I think AFCON is a great tournament to watch. I think it's pure entertainment. I think African football is underrated, but it's every 2 years and it's in the middle of the season and it's so annoying. Continuing on, talking of AFCON, Onana actually made it, so he basically didn't miss any games when he went to AFCON. Not that he was good at AFCON, but Onana is determined to reclaim his place as Man United's first choice goalkeeper when he returns from his loan at Trabzonspor. So if you think it couldn't get any worse with the AFCON news, imagine being Ruben Amorim and hearing, oh, Onana, by the way, when he comes back from loan, he wants to reclaim his place. Well, we don't want you because we've got Le Mans doing well. We're unbeaten with Le Mans. We didn't go very long unbeaten with you. But also we've got Vitek on loan. I'm sorry. Baindy is going to go. Vitek's going to come in. Le Mans, boom. Tom Heaton will go. We'll just get an old English keeper. Tick, tick, tick. We don't need you, mate. We don't need you. Please, go, leave. I mean, look, we don't know how Le Mans is going to be come the end of the season, but 5 games in and we like Le Mans more than Onana, let's be honest. Onana made more mistakes in his first 5 games than Le Mans has made. The only thing you can say about Le Mans is maybe he could have done better for the Welbeck free kick, but other than that, he's been faultless. And that's clutching at it because it was a good free kick. I like Le Mans. So let's continue on because there was a huge debate 2 weeks ago where people were basically arguing if Amorim had changed his tactics, which I thought was nuts because it was so obvious that since Le Mans come in, there was a huge tactical change in long ball. I think you could argue maybe the players were executing it better, maybe the players were playing at high intensity for sure, but the way Amorim approached the first 5 games of the season compared to the last 5 games, the difference is huge. And I don't know why some fans were trying to be like, Amorim hasn't changed anything. The Amorim outers are just pretending Amorim's changed his tactics so they can say they weren't wrong, which is just weird. I think saying Amorim changed his tactics is a compliment to Amorim. He needed to change his tactics and he did. I still think he needs to change his tactics even further, and I think he needs to be more adaptable in game, because I think sometimes he has the same tactics for 90 minutes, and I think after 60 minutes it's not working. Try a different tactical approach for the next 30 minutes. But Ruben Amorim has changed his tactics since Lamont has come in. You could argue he tried to do what he's done in the last 5 games, well, 3 of the last 5 games with the long ball last season. It didn't work, and now he's got the personnel to execute it. But the last 5 games has been a very different approach to the first 5 games, and Amorim was even asked about that. He said, "I think as a coach, I've changed. I see things a bit differently. I had an idea of how to play, of building the game in a certain way, and I've changed that. Literally, we were building out from the back, and now we're doing long ball Le Mans." So Amorim's own words, he has changed his tactics. Here, and you see it in the Premier League, we're focused on data. So you have to change your way of doing things. You have to be attentive. Of course, we want to play in a certain way, but you have to adapt. Adapt. That's what he's done. You have to understand where you need to have possession, where you need to have more possession, how to win corners to put pressure on the opponent, and all these things. You have to change to adapt to the intensity of the way of playing. Now, I think some of it has been because the players were playing at a better intensity. If you look at the intensity of the Brentford game compared to the Sunderland game, I don't think it was just because Amorim changed his tactical approach and how we built out. I do think the players came with a different intensity. But Ruben Amorim has changed in the last 2 games, and it was good of him to talk about that. And hopefully he does become more adaptable as a manager. Continuing on, so according to Team Talk, Manchester United could end up signing all 3 midfielders, Anderson, Baleba and Wharton, as part of a major squad overhaul, because they could sell Bruno, Rashford and Casemiro is also expected to leave. I don't think we'll sign all 3. Last summer, we were talking about Semenyo, Cunha and Bumo, how we wanted Man United to sign 1 or 2 of them. Semenyo, Cunha and Bumo, we got 2 out of 3. Anderson, Baleba, Wharton, I think at most we get Anderson and Baleba. Anderson and Wharton would be great, but I think we get Anderson and Baleba. I think Wharton goes elsewhere. I think we will get Baleba. I think Anderson will be difficult. I don't think we're going to get Wharton. I think we will get 2 of the 3 midfielders that we want. Also, I'm aware I look very rough today. Hangover. But look, I don't know if he will be this price, but for me, Elliot Anderson is number 1. In the summer, Baleba was number 1, but he's been crap this season. Elliot Anderson has to be our priority. He's our Declan Rice that we missed out a few years ago on. We need Elliot Anderson. He needs to be the priority. And United are confident they can sign him for 60 to 70. I just don't believe he'll be that cheap. And I think there's some kind of secret clause in his contract that comes into place in the summer. And Ben Jacobs has said he will be less than that 100 million that everyone thinks he will be. He'll be comfortably less. So I was thinking maybe 80 million. But if you can get Elliot Anderson for 70 million, that would be unbelievable business. We are apparently favourites to secure a signature. There is reports that it's us, Newcastle and Tottenham, and he prefers us. Us, Newcastle and City, and he prefers us so far because obviously City have Rodri, Reinders, and of course Nico Gonzalez, who's playing very well. Whereas at Man United, he can walk into the team. There is talk that we could get him for 60 to 70 million. If we can get Elliot Anderson for 60 to 70 million in January, amazing, that won't happen. But in the summer, wow, that would be brilliant. And last but not least, Amorim did give an update on Lisandro Martinez. I think Leacher is almost ready to play. I don't know if he's going to be in the next game versus Everton, but his spirit, his way of training, the way he pushed his teammates and the way he plays the game is so important for us, but we need to be careful with Leacher. He has players in his position that are playing really well. That's my responsibility. That is my decision, but I think he's ready to start going to games. Now, he's not going to start games for a while. He might get the odd cameo here and there, but Leach is ready to be in the squad. So that's a good news and update. So that was your 10-minute roundup, guys. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I will be back tonight if any news comes out later on. See you next time. Bye.